Champion talkSPORT's Spencer Oliver.
You're turning professional and you're boxing, let's say, York Hall on a non-televised fight. You have to sell tickets to earn any money, but you have to cover the wages of your opponent as well. So if you don't have the ability to be able to sell enough tickets, you effectively have to pay to fight.
A far cry then from Jake Paul facing Mike Tyson in 2024, when the purse was reported to be around £48 million. But the vast amounts of cash lining the top dog's pockets isn't the norm in a typical fight.
Let's say you're lucky and you get between 5 and 10 grand. You're going to get 10 grand max for that. 10% goes to the trainer, 25% goes to the manager. Then we've got the tax man to pay as well. So we're cutting that money in at least half. So now you've got 5 grand for a 10-week camp. So you're talking about a guy here earning, he might be clearing 500 quid a week. How do you support a family on that? So boxers chase the dream. And, you know, there's probably 2% of them that actually make it.
So say you do make it and you start to rise up the ranks. Strikers Boxing, a training academy, says the mid-tier fighters can earn more, somewhere between £10,000 and £50,000 a fight, depending on record, profile, opponent and popularity of weight class. It's only at the top level does the real cash start flowing in, with the top-tier professionals, i.e. those going for titles, earning 6 figures a fight. Something else you'll have heard of is the terms prize fighter or journeyman. A prize fighter is, as it sounds, someone who picks up fights where they can and gets a nice big check if they win. Journeymen are the fighters who take on up-and-comers, effectively used for experience in the ring. Even if they're going up against the real prospects, a young Anthony Joshua, for example, these guys will be lucky to earn more than 10 grand. So the average boxer isn't as rich as you'd think.
This is Early Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Happy Monday. I'm Olivia Buzaglo. We're building up to talkSPORT Breakfast at 6 a.m. With Jeff Selling and Gabby Agbonlahor. Nick is with me. Nick, did you stay up last night for the Ryder Cup?
I'm absolutely knackered. What a weekend of sport. We'll start in Long Island today, where Team Europe won the first away Ryder Cup since 2012. A little bit nervy though, wasn't it? We'll go over Arsenal's late win at St James's Park, and we'll take a closer look at VAR. It was a big talking point in both Sunday's Premier League games. Is it time we hear from referees after the final whistle? As always, you can get involved on the usual number, 03717 223344. Olivia, we do not let this slip. We go again.
Right. Thank you very much, Nick. Nick will be back to discuss the back pages. Oh, the Ryder Cup was good last night. I had the perfect Sunday, by the way. This is the perfect Sunday. I went for a roast early doors on Sunday. I went to Blacklock in Canary Wharf, and it was unbelievable. Then I went back to my friend's house and we watched Newcastle Arsenal, and then finished it off by watching the Ryder Cup. As Nick said, in the end, it was a lot closer than we thought it was going to be. Europe were 11.5 to 4.5 up going into the Ryder Cup singles yesterday. Only an all-time record fight back could have salvaged something for Team USA. They almost pulled it off, but eventually Shane Lowry held an 8-foot putt to draw with Russell Henley and snatched the half point Europe needed to retain the cup. Then, in the penultimate match, Tyrrell Hatton finished all square with Colin Morikawa to get Europe to 14.5 and do what the team came to New York to do, win the Ryder Cup on foreign soil. Robert McIntyre snatched another half off Sam Burns to make it 15-13 over at Bethpage Black. talkSPORT's Rupert Bell caught up with the heroic Justin Rose at the end.
I had to go places this week where I've never been before, you know. It's tested my resolve. I feel like I've never played in an environment like this before. So to feel like I'm learning as a player at 45 is incredible, and I think that I need to protect that as long as I can.
I think you perfected the art of a walk-in putt.
That was a little cocky, you know. But, but in this environment, I thought that, honestly, in my head, in the back of my head, because these are, you know, like subliminal decisions. You can't make these consciously. I kind of looked at it and I went, that's in. and you start, because you're getting so much abuse before you hit the putt. As soon as you think it's in, you're like, I'm going to take this opportunity to give it a big one. And, obviously it went in, and I think that made for a great moment. But yeah, those are like the mini battles that we're fighting constantly on every single shot that we play. And hopefully people can appreciate that back home, because they don't see that side of us in regular tournament golf, and that's what makes the Ryder Cup so special.
Are you going to have a big one tonight in terms of partying?
I think we deserve it. I got a bit scared of myself after 2018. I went a little too large. 2023 in Rome, I went a little too passive. So I want to find the sweet spot tonight.
Well, you found the sweet spot on the course. Go and enjoy it tonight. Thank you, Justin. Well done. Thank you.
Oh, brilliant. Well, Europe captain Luke Donald now has 4 wins as a player. That's 2 home and 2 away. And now 2 wins as captain as well, which is 1 home and 1 away. Is he the Ryder Cup's greatest ever figure? No wonder all the fans were shouting 2 more years at him, to which he said, "We'll see." Now, Ryder Cup legend Colin Montgomery told talkSPORT Donald should stay on if he's up to it.
If Luke's, available and wants to do it, why do we have to go, okay, we'll have someone else now and start from scratch when it's obviously a winning formula? Stick with it. And if I was on the board, I'd be going, right, Luke, can you please do this again?
Unbelievable, wasn't it? From Luke Donald and Team Europe. There is loads more action and reaction after a dramatic Ryder Cup weekend on talkSPORT's Golf YouTube channel, so go and check that out. What a day it was for Team Europe. Meanwhile, Sunday's Premier League game between Newcastle and Arsenal was all action, and there was plenty of talking points. Here's how it all sounded on talkSPORT.
Arsenal have dropped 7 points from the opening 5 Premier League games of the season. They can't afford to drop any more.
I think we always go toe-to-toe.
According to Jarrod Gillett, no foul, penalty overturned. Mikel Arteta can't believe it.
I looked at that and I can never see something clear and obvious.
Are you telling me that that's a clear and obvious mistake? You're talking millimetres.
Newcastle 1, Arsenal 0. That man again, the record signing, Nick Voltemada.
Gabriel is backing in towards Voltemada. All the Arsenal players surround the referee asking the question. It's not a foul.
6 minutes of normal time remaining. It is Newcastle 1, Arsenal 1, and Mikel Moreno with the glancing header. So it won't be a penalty, no handball.
It shouldn't really matter where his arm is, but it's so high, I think it should have been a penalty.
Again, it's late drama in the Premier League.
When you get what you deserve in the last kick of the game, almost there is not a better feeling than that.
And it's nodded into the near post, and Arsenal snatch the victory in stoppage time, and they're going second in the Premier League table. Newcastle 1, Arsenal 2.
Well, Arsenal are now just 2 points off Liverpool at the top. They're sitting in second. Mikel Arteta says the 2-1 win settled in the 6th minute of added time by a Gabriel header is a huge statement of intent from his team. And talkSPORT's Troy Deeney says it's time for Arteta to let Arsenal off the leash and go for the title.
I think we're so flip-floppy with Arsenal. Maybe it's because you fans, Stephen, call in all the time, but last week we were all down on them. This week they're now going to win the league. I still think we just got to wait and see. Just wait and see, because we don't know what Liverpool are yet. They keep nicking the games, and that's obviously the mentality which we're giving Arsenal credit for today. But my thing with Arsenal is, if they play like that with the handbrake off and they allow their forward players to go and flourish, they're still going to be solid at the back. They're still going to be a nuisance from set pieces. But let your Eze shine. Let your Saka shine. Madueke as well when he comes back. And I think they could be the best team in the league. And that's always been my frustration. Just go and let them off the leash. Go and let them win. And today we saw that.
Yeah, it was a brilliant result for Arsenal. Their next game is at home to Olympiacos in the Champions League. That's live for you on talkSPORT this Wednesday evening. Obviously, a big result for Arsenal. However, I feel like we've come away from this game talking about a few more questionable decisions by the officials at St James's Park. Victor Gyökeres had a penalty decision overturned by VAR after it looked like Nick Pope got a touch on the ball. And then Newcastle felt they should have had a penalty when a shot hit Gabriel's arm as he sort of came sliding in to block a challenge. Well, Steve, the Newcastle fan, thinks there's a big six bias.
Probably wasn't my best performance at home, but
listen, we're done enough, and I think that penalty decision at the end is absolutely just shows the Premier League that big six biased again. There's no way his hand's in the natural position.
No, I completely agree. Yours should have been a penalty. But what did you think of the Gyökeres one in the first half?
I'll be totally honest. At first, I thought it was a penalty, but on looking at it, Pope gets his footed and he can't move anywhere else. Wins the ball. Gyökeres runs into him. So, probably won them 50-50.
So both should have been penalties.
Probably won it. Mm-hmm. As a defending team, I'm happy with Pope what he's done. But the second one, Gabriel, absolutely undefensible. I think the Premier League need to come out and admit that as well.
Yeah, what I would say about Arsenal is, and I came into this game thinking this is exactly the sort of game they need to win if they have ambitions to go on and win the title. And fair play to them, because at one point when they were 1-0 down, I thought the game was getting away from them slightly. I thought Newcastle were getting in their heads, and they recovered so well. I thought that was one of Arsenal's, if not their best performance of the season. Eze in the number 10 was absolutely brilliant. And that's what we've been crying out to see from Mikel Arteta. So, yeah, I thought that was a brilliant performance from Arsenal, and it puts them right back in the mix for the Premier League title. Well, after the game, we're talking about VAR decisions. Mark Clattenburg, former Premier League referee, posted this on X. He said, another match where we are discussing the standards of refereeing in the Premier League. #Newcastle v Arsenal, time for Howard Webb to accept he has failed. Now, there were a couple of decisions in this game. Let's start with the Gyökeres one. Obviously, running through on goal, looks like Nick Pope comes out and just clatters him. Now, when VAR are looking at this, Nick Pope gets a touch on the ball, but the issue is here, is that a clear and obvious error? Probably not. And also, I think it sets a dangerous precedent. Is it just different rules for goalkeepers? Because it's basically now saying if you get any touch on the ball, it almost doesn't matter what your follow through is or where your foot's going to go. To me, that Gyökeres, it probably should have been a penalty. I don't think that should have been overturned. I don't think there was really any need for VAR to get involved there, even though Nick Pope did get a slight touch on the ball. I can sort of see, it does feel like it's different rules for goalkeepers. If goalkeepers get a tiny little nick on the ball, it doesn't really matter what happens from then on. I don't know if that's right. Obviously, the second one is the Gabriel handball. Now, obviously, he came in to block a shot from Anthony Elanga. The ball sort of nicked up off of his foot when he tries to block it and then hits his arm. Now, I hate to get technical, but so according to IFAB, the rules of the game are it's not automatically a penalty if the ball touches a player's leg or body before it touches an arm. However, there are exceptions to that rule, and one of the exceptions is if a player's arm is in a position that makes the body unnaturally bigger, it can still be penalised. To me, Gabriel's arm being so high up here is not a natural position. He has made himself unnaturally bigger to block the ball. I think the Gyökeres one should have been a penalty, and I do believe that Gabriel one should have been a penalty. What I would say is leave Nick Voltemade alone. He's like the nicest, looks like the sweetest man, and like he scored a really good goal. And then Gabriel, there was no push on Gabriel, no push at all. Gabriel was far too weak in that situation. And then trying to like punch him from kickoff. No, he was lucky. He was very lucky that Nick Voltemade didn't make more of that situation as well. And Gabriel asking him to shake his hand right after he's tried to basically punch him in the face was actually hilarious. But anyway, Gabriel then went on and scored the winner, and it was a set piece, and he is so dangerous in those situations, and fair play to Arsenal for getting those 3 points, because that is, I know we're only in September, so it's important not to get too ahead of ourselves, but given what happened with Liverpool, a huge weekend for Arsenal that was. Well, refereeing decisions weren't just part of the Arsenal game, because they were also part of the discussions after Villa got their first Premier League win of the season, beating Fulham 3-1. Ollie Watkins ended his 9-game goal drought as well as Villa looked to push on after a rather poor start. Now, Fulham boss Marco Silva thought Josh King should have had a penalty after being brought down by Emi Martinez, and another for a Matty Cash handball.
To try to explain to you my vision again is not going to change anything again, because they come with a completely out of the book explanations, trying to convince with things that we cannot see there. You see things that are so clear and so obvious, and they come with explanations that no one believes what they are trying to explain to us. And that is the thing in football now, right? I don't understand the direction they want. What I can say, for me, It's clear penalty, the first one, clear penalty. Even if the ball goes in a different direction when he tried to dribble Martinez, he was tackled by Martinez. Clear was tackled by Martinez. I don't want the referees to try to educate one player that is just 18 years old. We know how to educate him. I have to be even more clear. He has the enough education. It's for me, in 2 weeks, in 2 games, so quick how they give yellow cards for George King in 2 moments inside the box. For me, it's almost incredible. Last week, I was the first one saying it's not a penalty. To Arce, a yellow card was not a penalty. This afternoon, amazing how the referee was so quick to give a yellow card for him in a clear penalty, in my opinion. Clear. What you can never say that was a simulation from him, and for me, it was incredible. Why against us with Chelsea is a penalty? Why? The same people, because they are the same. They are the same referees, they are the same officials, they are the same VR, is the same guy that is on the top. Why? This afternoon was not a penalty again. Because that I said, it's too obvious for me to try to explain things that you don't believe what they write, you don't believe their explanations, like I don't believe.
I think Marco Silva is aggrieved because of some decisions that have gone against his side earlier on in the season. The Josh King penalty is an interesting one. I don't think it's a penalty and I don't think it's a yellow card for simulation. I think it looks like there is contact from Emi Martinez. However, it does look like Josh King's going down before actually any contact is initiated, if that makes sense. But it's definitely not a yellow card for simulation. Absolutely not. And the other one is the Matty Cash handball, and I saw people comparing it to the Sessegnon handball at Stamford Bridge, which Sessegnon's arm's up here and Matty Cash's arm's like behind him as he's sort of like turning. I think his arm is in a natural position, but I know some people think that was a penalty because obviously he's blocked it as it's going towards goal. I just think there are so many questions around the handball rule. I don't know if anyone really knows at the moment what is handball and what isn't, but Marco Silva clearly quite aggrieved with the standard of refereeing. I mean, could they come out and do post-match interviews? Is that something people would want to hear just to get a little bit more clarity on why certain decisions are made? Would that help? I'm not sure we'll ever see it, to be perfectly honest, but the Match Centre updates on X don't really provide a lot of clarity on why the decision was made. It was just like the decision was made, if that makes sense. But yeah, it's just really sad because obviously a big win for Arsenal, a big win for Villa, and we're sat here talking about, you know, refereeing decisions, and I don't think we want to do that. Hopefully, the Monday Night Football, we're not talking about any refereeing decisions. It's Nuno Espirito Santo's first game in charge of West Ham as they go to Everton. That game is live for you on talkSPORT. Kickoff from 7 p.m. Obviously, kickoff, that's when the show starts. Kickoff is at 8 p.m. Right, you are listening to Early Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT with me, Olivia Buzaglo, and Adrian Flux. Insurance for the individual. Find out more at adrianflux.co.uk. After the break, we'll take a look at a potential new job for Sir Gareth Southgate. morning. I'm Olivia Buzaglo, and this is the Early Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT with Adrian Flux. Get a tailor-made quote for your commercial vehicle. Search Adrian Flux Insurance for the individual. Jeff Selling is back on talkSPORT Breakfast this Monday morning. I'm sure he will have spent all weekend sat in front of the TV watching that brilliant Ryder Cup. Alongside him is Gabby Agbonlahor, who has now scored 2 fewer goals for Aston Villa in the Premier League than Ollie Watkins. I'm sure Gabby will be very happy that he's coming on here and Villa have finally won a Premier League game. Some of your headlines then this Monday morning. Chelsea's perfect start to their WSL title defence continued with a 4-0 win at West Ham, who played more than an hour with 10 players. Aggie Beaver-Jones and Erin Cuthbert were among the goal scorers in Dagenham. Chelsea boss Sonia Bompasta told talkSPORT about capitalising on Arsenal's dropped points to extend their lead at the top.
Before the game, we just talked a little bit with the players about the table. We wanted to stay and remain top of the table. We wanted to extend the lead with Arsenal. That's always important when you have that opportunity. But again, we are really early in the season. We have so many games to be played yet. And again, I think we focus on ourselves. We want to be professionals. We want to take every opportunity when it's possible to win games and take 3 points. So this is what we did today. That's really good. And we look at the next one against Man United. Sorry.
Rangers manager Russell Martin says he can't control what people think of him after leading his team to their first win of the Scottish Premiership season. Despite a stoppage time winner from Max Aarons in a 2-1 victory at Livingston, some supporters continued to call for him to be sacked. The win takes Rangers up to 8th in the table, whilst Livingston are 10th. And the NFL game between Green Bay Packers and Dallas Cowboys has ended in a tie at 40-40. More reaction to this on the talkSPORT US YouTube channel. And for more on all of these stories, you can visit talksport.com. I nearly choked on myself then. Now, back to the Premier League, because talkSPORT understands Gareth Southgate is an option, Sir Gareth Southgate, to take over at Manchester United if... And it's a big if, I suppose. Is it a big if? Actually, I don't know. If they decide to sack Ruben Amorim. United's minority owner, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, has been in touch with Southgate in recent weeks. Oliver Glasner and Andoni Iraola are also reportedly on his shortlist. Manchester United lost again at the weekend. They lost 3-1 at Brentford. It means Amorim has just 33 points from his 34 Premier League games in charge. And we asked Amorim what that Brentford result means for his future.
It's always the same. We have to be really strong to get back again with our fans. We need to win games, so it's always the same story. We try to create a momentum. We get a big punch and we go again. So that's what we are going to do this week.
On Sunday edition, Henry Winter told talkSPORT he thinks Amorim will be out at the next international break and the United job is just too big for him.
He just looks inhibited by it. Now, I understand it's the culture of the place, and we can go back to the Glazers and their takeover in 2005 and the lack of leadership responsibility. I absolutely get all that behind the scenes and the cultural problems that Manchester United have. But you go in there with an element of defiance. And I just think it's, the best managers have a plan B. Pep's been criticised this season for sort of mixing up Manchester City's play. I think that's a sign of a good manager. He just, he works to the strengths of his players. Ferguson would tweak his teams in Europe. All the best managers have tweaked their teams. He doesn't seem to be able to do it. And he is sticking to this 3-4-2-1 system, which is against Manchester United's tradition of wingers and it just doesn't seem to work.
Yeah, another disappointing defeat for Manchester United. It just makes Chelsea's result against them look so stupid, I think. But fair play to Brentford and fair play to Keith Andrews as well. Igor Thiago getting 2 goals looked brilliant, didn't he? I mean, I understand why Manchester United fans might feel a little bit aggrieved at the whole penalty red card thing. Obviously, VAR, PGMOL came out and said that Brian Mbeumo wasn't in control of the ball when Nathan Collins pulled him back. The penalty was given. Maybe a little bit lucky to not see red there, but I think Manchester United have way more issues than Nathan Collins getting sent off in that game. We've had a few texts in this morning. I like this one from Darren. Olivia, what about Chelsea? You dish out when Spurs are useless. Come on, be impartial. I mean, this isn't the best weekend to be talking about Spurs as well, is it? Because listen, we're both as bad as each other this weekend. The only thing I would say about Chelsea is going down to 10 men. We can't, at the moment, what is it like playing a game with 11 players? I just don't know. But sadly, there are so many more other talking points in the Premier League this weekend that we just don't have time to talk about Chelsea or talk about Spurs. But anyway, send us a text on 81089 if you want to get in touch. Right, time now to get into the back pages with Adrian Flux.
The Back Page Review on talkSPORT with Adrian Flux. Insurance for the individual. Find out more at adrianflux.co.uk.
Nick is back with me in the studio. I mean, I haven't spoken about any of the back pages, Nick, because I mean, it's so they're all pretty similar, aren't they? They're all the same.
What a weekend!
What a weekend!
Shane Lowry absolutely giving it large on the 18th there when he holed that 8-foot putt to get that half to retain the Ryder Cup, and then obviously Tyrrell Hatton making the away win certain with his half as well later on. But rolling Shane on the back of the sun. Obviously a pun on bowling Shane. In the Times, I quite like this from Rick Broadbent talking about the rowdy fans at Bethpage Black. He's saying that golf boss's efforts to cultivate a lucrative tribalism encouraged the chaos at Bethpage Black. He mentions Danny Willett about 10 years ago. His brother wrote a piece about the American fans saying the pudgy, basement-dwelling irritants stuffed on cookie dough and, I'm not sure I can say that word, let's say weak beer, pausing between mouthfuls of hot dogs so they can scream Bubba Booey until their jelly faces turn red, stupid and classless.
That's hilarious.
Danny Willett got pulled off the four balls for that. And then that was about 10 years ago, but it's sort of come to fruition.
Yeah.
Rick Broadbent in the Times writing this stupid, classless golf hooligan dragged the Ryder Cup from corporate hospitality to the depths on Saturday. This was not a good walk spoilt, but more like a long, tortuous traipse back from a lock-in at the stag party from hell.
I love it. And also, I don't know about you, I just find everything the Americans do cringe. At the Ryder Cup, I just found everything cringe, and I don't know why.
They've only got one chant, which is USA, USA. Yeah. And they also, apparently some people threw beer at Rory McIlroy's wife.
I saw that, actually. So I saw it happen, or I saw it on socials, but you couldn't really see where it came from. However, actually, this morning, was it last night, it said, here's a better angle, and they literally just lob a can of something at his wife as he's standing there.
The police had to be called in on Saturday, which I think was probably the point where, okay, it's gone a bit too far now.
I agree. I think they took it way too far. And Rory came out and actually said, I don't mind all the abuse. You can give me abuse, but not when I'm taking my shot. Have a little bit of respect and give us an equal chance. Do you know what I mean? So
exactly, that's what he said. Give us the same chance that the Americans have. Interestingly, in the Sun, piece about maybe Tiger Woods becoming the next captain. A lot of Keegan Bradley's decisions were criticised. And before I go, very quickly, just a chance to celebrate the Red Roses. Yeah. England now, after winning the World Cup at Twickenham, apparently they went to a Twickenham pub to celebrate.
Love it.
They beat Canada 33-13. There was a big parade yesterday. And England now, 33 wins on the spin, 63 out of 64 winning in tests, and on to the Six Nations. And great picture of Ellie Kildunn. And if you saw her first try on Saturday, unbelievable pace, power, and just poise, and the way she's able to. She's got such amazing, as well as being quick, incredible upper body strength. So Ellie Kildunn in England, hats off to you.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was a record women's rugby crowd. 81,885 people at Twickenham to watch that.
Long may it continue. And also so many young boys and girls inspired in the crowd and watching on TV as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It was incredible. Thank you very much, Nick. Yes. That was a look at today's Back Pages with Adrian Flux.
The Back Page Review on talkSPORT with Adrian Flux. Insurance for the individual. Find out more at adrianflux.co.uk.
This is Early Breakfast with me, Olivia Buzaglo, on talkSPORT. Up next, we'll go over the rest of the weekend's Premier League talking points, including the unbelievable and the only team unbeaten in the Premier League, Crystal Palace. morning to you. I'm Olivia Buzaglo and you are listening to Early Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. It was a rather dramatic end to the Ryder Cup. We have been talking about it. All the drama that happened. Europe had a record lead going into the singles, but USA almost did the unthinkable and turned it around. Almost. Couldn't quite get over the line, could they? Before Lowry and Hatton got the halves Europe needed to win the Ryder Cup on foreign soil, talkSPORT's Rupert Bell spoke to Tommy Fleetwood.
I think we had a period of relief when we eventually got that done, but yeah, we're enjoying it right now. I think when we look back on it, what an amazing achievement it was from the team, from the guys. We came in, we felt confident. But yeah, doing it is another thing. And like I say, it got a bit tighter today than we probably wanted it to. A lot of matches went down the last and it didn't go our way, and the Americans put up a great fight, but this was our time.
I'm proud of you what you did on the first stage. You're still unbeaten. I mean, this is an extraordinary record.
It's just, it's all in vain if the team doesn't win, and I really don't. I'm proud of like my individual record in a Ryder Cup, if you like, but I really, you'd give it all up. I'm part of this team, and for us to have won another Ryder Cup is the most special thing.
That was Tommy Fleetwood talking there. He spoke about the team and that, I think I love watching the Ryder Cup, and I think it's because of the team aspect. And everyone said in the build up to this that Europe were favourites because of their team morale, and the USA just don't have that. They're obviously brilliant individual golfers, but that's just not enough in the Ryder Cup. You are listening to Early Sports Breakfast with me, Olivia Buzaglo, and Adrian Flux, the cover you need at a price you'll love. With What Van's Insurer of the Year 2021. Find out more at adrianflux.co.uk. I'm with you until 6 a.m. and then you're in the very capable hands of Jeff Sterling and Gabby Agbonlahor. Some of the headlines you're waking up to this Monday morning. Emma Raducanu and Sunny Cartel are both in action this morning as they aim for a place in the last 16 of the China Open. Raducanu faces a tough challenge in Beijing as she goes up against 5th seed Jessica Pegula. Cartel will take on Australian player Maya Joint. There are 4 race meetings today. They go at Hamilton, Brighton, Newton Abbott and Southall. And David Moyes says he's pleased with the way Everton have started the season ahead of this evening's visit of West Ham in the Premier League. They've won 2, lost 2 and drawn 1 of their opening 5 top-flight games. And Moyes says they're progressing nicely.
We're still just coming out of some dark days and feeling a lot better about ourselves. That doesn't always mean that everything goes well, that's for sure. Things can change and we have to be ready for it, but hopefully we keep it going. We're playing with a lot of confidence, doing a lot of things well.
Everton versus West Ham is live for you on talkSPORT tonight. You can catch that from 7 p.m. And for more on all of these stories, you can visit talksport.com. Right, it was a fairly unpredictable weekend in the Premier League. Here's how all of the drama sounded on talkSPORT.
Genson's going to go for goal and win the game with an absolute stunner. Manchester United have beaten again.
Manchester City 5, Burnley 1, and it is Erling Haaland.
It's Leeds 2, Bournemouth 2. It comes from a set piece. So Chelsea down to 10 men. The points are sealed. It's Chelsea 1, Brighton 3. Danny Welbeck.
Eddie Nketiah has just blasted in from the corner of the 6-yard box. Selhurst Park erupts.
Sunderland, promoted via the playoffs in May, are sitting in the Champions League places in the Premier League.
Wolves fans, you're nearly there. In by Tell, hit by Polina! He's put it in the bottom corner! Dramatically, Tottenham 1, Wolves 1.
2-2, Aston Villa 3, Fulham 1, Emi Buendia to give Aston Villa that first Premier League win of the season. The last chance of a dramatic late winner in front of the travelling fans, and it's nodded into the near post, and Arsenal snatch the victory in stoppage time. Again, it's late drama in the Premier League.
We have to take a moment to give Crystal Palace their flowers. I sat on this show and I said that no one was talking about them winning being unbeaten in 17. Well, it is now 18, and I think a lot of people thought that this game for Liverpool might be where they slip up, and that was exactly what happened. when Oliver Glasner arrived at Palace, they were 15th in the table, 11 losses in 17 games. He has turned it all around. That club is so well run. They're now 18 unbeaten, the only team unbeaten left in the Premier League. They're sitting third. I think they're third, just 2 points off the top. He's beaten Pep, Slot, Eddie Howe, Ruben Amorim in that time. It's just a brilliantly run club. They lose their best players. You know, they lost arguably their greatest of all time in Wilfried Zaha. Most people might say Elise. They lost Zaha, they were fine. They lost Elise, won the FA Cup. They've just lost Eze. And it looks like Crystal Palace are getting better. It was Eddie Nketiah that nicked it in the last minute after Chiesa equalised for Arne Slot's team. It was a lovely touch and a lovely finish, and very, very well deserved. Palace could have been 4-0 up at half time if they'd have taken their chances. Obviously disappointing for Liverpool to concede after getting back into the game. And Arne Slot told us they were probably due to be on the end of a last-minute winner after all their late shows this season. But he now says the Premier League is all about set pieces.
The game of football, especially in England, has changed almost to a set-piece game. I was watching on the way up Brentford against Man United, and it's every ball that goes out in the half of the opponent is a long throw-in at the moment. So you have to defend a lot of set pieces as well. And if you then concede two, that's always too much. But again, they could have scored from open play as well, because they had enough chances for that. But conceding two set pieces is too much in a Premier League game.
Yeah, I think it was a matter of time, wasn't it? Liverpool couldn't keep scoring last-minute winners, but hats off to Palace. They were very, very deserving of that 2-1 win. And Arne Slot is right. It was all about set pieces. So many long throws. You look at Arsenal yesterday winning from a corner. Arsenal have been so good at set pieces over the years, but it does look like more and more teams are using set pieces to their advantage. We have got Liverpool's Champions League game at Galatasaray, which is live for you on talkSPORT. Tomorrow evening, it's time now for this.
It's a front page throwdown.
Oh, what a move!
The front page is first on the early sports breakfast.
talkSPORT.
Right, Nick's back to talk through some of the lighter stories on the front pages. What's going on, Nick?
Well, some good news for Oasis fans, and for you maybe that you haven't been to see them. Looks like they'll be back on the road next year. Liam Gallagher at their gigs at Wembley over the weekend said I'll see you next year, and there was a lovely tribute to Ricky Hatton as well as Ozzy Osbourne. Also, Bad Bunny is going to be the halftime show at the Super Bowl this season.
There was rumours it was going to be Taylor Swift, and I was thinking,
imagine that.
Bad Bunny. I'm a bit like.
Who's your favourite NFL halftime show?
I don't really watch the Super Bowl. No. I'm not going to lie. It's on far too late in the evening for me. I go to bed fairly early.
Prince played Purple Rain in the Rain once.
Oh, unreal.
I don't think that's
Beyonce?
ever beaten. Yeah, Beyonce's good. I'm sure Beyonce's done it. So, no, they all I like the old rockers, Tom Petty, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think Eminem and Snoop Dogg and Dr.
Nice.
Dr. Dre were good.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
I can't lie. I'm not going to sit here and lie and say I've seen them, because I haven't. I would have seen clips of it on socials. I'll tell you, Kendrick Lamar.
Oh yeah, that
was iconic.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That was a good one. Well, we'll see what Bad Bunny's got when he does that. It's January, February, isn't it? Have you ever done anything extremely unlikely, like won the lottery or?
Oh no,
like that?
No, but I do know. So someone I know, well, I say loosely know. My cousin went to a petrol station, and him and the guy he was with, who was his brother-in-law, both bought scratch cards just from a local thingy. And my cousin went, "You go first. You get." They got the same scratch card. You go first. He won $100,000 a month for a year.
Wow.
And my cousin was like, because he let him go first, and Ash have gone first.
And did the other scratch card have nothing in it?
Nothing.
Wow.
Oh, can you imagine?
That is horrific. An amateur golfer hit 2 hole-in-ones in the same round, defying odds of 67 million to 1. This is Gavin Bourne, who's 47, at Droitwich Golf Club in Worcestershire. Hats off to him. Landed his first ace with a 6-iron on the 175-yard third. And then on the 15th, 187-yard, seemingly impossible happened again, this time with a 5-iron. He said he's going to save the balls, thinks he'll put them in some sort of box and stick them on the mantelpiece.
I mean, yeah, fair.
Gavin Bourne.
What on earth? 2 in 1 round?
Unbelievable.
That is unbelievable.
Get him on the next Ryder Cup team.
Yeah, we don't need him. Sorry, Gavin. It's great, but we don't need you. Thank you very much, Nick. Right, that was a look at the front pages. Right, next up, we'll look ahead to tonight's live Premier League football on talkSPORT. It's Nuno Espirito Santo's first game in charge of West Ham. good morning to you. I'm Olivia Buzaglo and you are listening to the Early Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. We've had a few more texts in this morning. You can get in touch on 81089. Hakeem has said players get dropped for poor performances, referees don't. Criticise them and Webb goes on Sky for damage control. Morning, Olivia. This is Tony. Since Todd took over at Chelsea, you've given Brighton nearly 300 million in transfers and you still get battered by them. Right, Tony. One, we spent 100 and something million on Moises Caicedo and I'd give that to Brighton again for him. João Pedro, Marc Cucurella, I love those signings. However, you nearly lost to Wolves. This isn't the time to be coming at Chelsea fans. Wolves had lost 5 in 5 before they came to your place and you needed a last-minute equaliser from João Palhinha to get a point. So now's not the time to be coming at me. Listen, I know Chelsea lost and it was, a bit of an embarrassing defeat. But anyway, we move. It's another big night in the Premier League, which is live on talkSPORT tonight from 7 p.m. It's the David Moyes derby, and there are some new faces in at West Ham.
There is a certain recent trend you may be aware of, the Graham Potter face swap trend. Are you aware of this?
Yes, I am. It's part of criticism. It's at times ridicule the environment we're in, and it is what it is.
Laughing and joking with reporters about the face swap memes and then sack him. That is a strange turn of events.
Nuno Espirito Santo, the chosen one.
West Ham's best chance of getting some good wins, going back to being more pragmatic, which the fans didn't really want.
Everton have been capable of a lot under David Moyes, but he just cannot win here.
The journey we've been on for a long time, and we've set pretty high standards.
I can't believe what's happening at West Ham. We had David Moyes, kept us in Europe 3 seasons running.
West Ham have done it in magical part.
I had a big relationship with so many of the players and the staff there, and always look forward to seeing them.
So Graham Potter was sacked on Saturday morning and his successor, Nuno Espirito Santo, was announced almost straight away. He is back in the dugout tonight for his first game in charge of West Ham away at Everton. Nuno told West Ham's official channel that his first priority is getting the fans back on side.
First of all, what is important is that now we know each other, mainly us, the squad, the players. This is what is more important now. And we are here working. We started yesterday, realizing that, as you said, big club, expectations, but before all the expectations, all the achievements that we desire, that we want to do, we must create a platform of knowledge, of coming closer to the fans, the team and the fans, and from there we can start building.
Well, Everton are in better form. West Ham only have 3 points from 5 games this season. And actually, those 3 points came against Nuno's Forest. But Everton, better form, 2 wins and a draw. Their boss, David Moyes, is looking forward to catching up with some familiar faces at Hill Dickinson tonight and has no hard feelings towards anyone at his old club.
It's great to see them all. I had a big relationship with so many of the players and the staff there and everybody at the club. It was good. We had some great times together, and always look forward to seeing them because many of the players there I brought in at the time, and they were really good people to work for.
Everton against West Ham is live for you on talkSPORT from 7 p.m. tonight. Kickoff is presented by Adrian Durham and commentary comes from Joe Shannon and former England midfielder Danny Murphy. Will we ever see Graham Potter in charge of another Premier League club? On Final Word, former West Ham boss Alan Pardew criticised how the West Ham board dealt with Potter in the end.
Yeah, well, we talked about it a couple of weeks ago, Madge, didn't we? And, unfortunately, he hasn't fitted there. Sometimes the personality of the person is very, very important at a club like West Ham, as it was at Chelsea. And both times he found it difficult. His win percentage in the Premier League, unfortunately, doesn't stack up. Mm-hmm. And he's had to take this hit. I mean, I've got to be honest, I was quite disgusted that West Ham made him do that press conference Friday.
Yeah.
And then announce a new manager within sort of 48 hours. So it was nothing to do with what he said in the presser. I think there were some reports suggesting, that he had said something, underlined that he wasn't really in harmony with the ball. But that's just rubbish. Nuno would have been lined up for days. And I feel that was really poor on their part. And they come out with no credit at all, the board there, by doing that.
Well, there's loads more coming up for you on talkSPORT Breakfast today. Joining Jeff Stelling and Gabby Agbonlahor, Ryder Cup veterans Lee Westwood and Danny Willett look back on an incredible weekend for Team Europe in New York. And Arsenal fan Piers Morgan will talk about their late win at Newcastle. You've been listening to Early Breakfast with Adrian Flux and me, Olivia Buzaglo. Insurance for the individual. Find out more at adrianflux.co.uk. Jeff and Gabby up next.